So here we are on the set of JWF Rite of Passage when suddenly a nice package arrived. Had to move some stuff around. Pretty big box, so you might say that something pretty big must be held inside. Also, I already ripped off my address and stuff. Kayfabe, you know. I don't need sick freaks sending me mail or money. I mean, you can if you want. I don't know. Anyway, let's pop this bad boy open. So let's go. Let's get the first look at this bad boy. If I can get it out of the box. Oh, we got Pennywise. I don't know we were even getting the Pennywise. What's this? A Mezco? I don't know. Get out of the box. Oh, yeah. We've got King Kong of Skull Island, baby. Look at him. You can't see him. There's a lot of glare. We'll change that. It appears to have come with like a little blind bag Mezco type thing, so I honestly have no idea what this is. Let's find out, shall we? We'll find out together. A little bonus. Is this even anything? Oh, okay. So it's just a little man. A little Mezco man. With a Mezco logo on the back. Is that the front or the back? It looks the same. Either way. Somebody leave a comment. Tell me if this is the front or the back. It's probably the front. So I've been hot... Let me get this glare out of here. It's just such a bootleg review, isn't it? So I've been hotly anticipating this figure ever since I saw it went up for pre-order. And man, it looks good. I can't wait to get it out of the package, which I'm going to do now, off camera, because as you can see, I'm having a hard time doing anything on camera. Something also really cool, comes with a Mezco sticker, so I can actually put this right on my little plastic bins over there, next to ACBA sticker, my They're Not Dolls sticker. That's right, I'm endorsing a bunch of stuff in this review. I don't give a crap. Let's open Kong. Alright, the monster is free from his prison. This is a solid figure. This is a heavy figure right off the jump. I'm already feeling the weight in my hands. It's not a cheap figure by any stretch. There's a lot of plastic here, as Boog Nice would say. But overall, let me get my first impression is that I really love the design of it. I'm going to mess with it off camera a little bit just to break in the joints and articulate it and stuff and just get it really prepared for a review, you know? I just wanted to showcase the unboxing and get my genuine reaction ahead of time, which, man, yeah, it's tight. So you will likely not have noticed that a lot of time has passed between me opening the figure and this footage that's being shot right now. It's because, unfortunately, when I was posing the figure, his leg broke at the knee joint, which was a right kerfuffle to try and fix. Took a bit of Dremel, it took a bit of cutting down the head off of a screw so that I could screw one end up into here and another end down into the disc joint, and lo and behold, I believe I've got it. The joint moves. Back to as good as it was before. I would say good as new, but unfortunately new, it just broke right off. So, I mean, that wasn't very good. Mezco, I don't think, has any well-known quality control issues. It's not like people expect Mezco figures to break out the box or anything like that. One small hiccup. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a replacement or not. We'll see what happens. But for the time being, honestly, I fixed it. So I can carry on with the review. The show must go on, after all. So yeah, wide range on this Kong as far as his reach goes. This Kong, as far as I know, is based on a comic book. Now, it says King Kong of Skull Island on the box, as you see there. I tried to look up King Kong of Skull Island, and I got met with a comic with that name. I also found out there's a comic called Kong, King of Skull Island, and then I figured out that there's just another thing called Kong of Skull Island. So I'll be honest, I have no idea what this is based on. The rights of King Kong have been all over the place ever since the original movie came out in 1933, which explains why so many iterations of Kong happen pretty much all at once, and nobody knows who the rights really belong to. That said, let's get a look at this figure, because this figure actually makes me very happy, despite the fact that I had to mess with the leg and perform all kind of surgery and all that. He is very reminiscent of the original Kong. He's a little bit slimmed down, I think, from the original 33 Kong, but his proportions are great. He's got the really long arms. He's got the monstrous build. He does have an ab crunch, which you see hunches him over, but you can bend that back, and then he's kind of able to stand on two legs just upright like that, which I really like. Articulation-wise, he does have a lot of points of articulation. You can see that it's very easy to remove the hands. We'll get to that. But unfortunately, his articulation is kind of limited by the sculpt. So he does have swivels at a lot of his, like his elbows and knees, they both swivel. But you're not going to get a lot of like hinge motion from the elbows. It's not like a double jointed elbow or anything. So if you were looking for like a superposable Kong, this might not be the one for you. But what he lacks in articulation, he does make up for in his appearance. I think it's a really cool styling for Kong. He captures a lot of elements of the original 33 model, like I said, and he also has a lot of different things that kind of remind me of other versions of Kong. For example, the scratches and stuff kind of remind me of the battle scars from the Peter Jackson movie. The shoulders have hinges and they swivel and stuff like that. No bicep swivel, but that's done in the elbow like this, so you can get that range of motion. You're not going to get a ton of bend in the elbow, unfortunately, and the hands, as you saw before, are on ball joints, and they do pop off very easy, so that's going to make it easy for you to switch your hands around. The hips have like ball joints coming, I can't tell if it's from the torso or from like the inner, like almost the groin. I think it's the torso, because if you look, you kind of see that's where the cutaway is. So you got that going for you. Not a ton of motion, unfortunately. Although, actually, no, it's not terrible. It's just not great either, I guess. But, yeah, this is the surgically repaired knee, by the way. So I'm confident that my skills can hold this together. You do get a little bit of knee movement in there. And then ankle movement, it's on a ball joint as well. Mezco, I don't know why they don't do this with their 1/12 figures. Beyond me. But, yeah, there's Kong. Looking good. Appearance-wise, I love the paint scheme. I love the detail. I can't say enough good things about the paint. I don't have any issues with mine, so that's great. He does come with a fair bit of accessories, too. You got 2 fists that you can swap out with his hands, which are nice. He also comes with this gripping hand, which is meant to hold Andero here. It might be tough to tell because of the focus on my camera, but Anne does have a look of perpetual terror on her face, which is nice. So they did a pretty good job with this little accessory. Here's the part where I try and shove her into Kong's hand, and she does fit in there. It's very snug. It's a good fit. She's not going to like fall out or anything like that. He also comes with this alternate head sculpt, which I think is actually awesome. I like how it's very exaggerated too. Mezco does that occasionally with some of their figures that come out. Like I know years ago they did these Miami Vice figures that were like, not comic booky in their style, but they were almost like Grand Theft Auto looking in their style. They were awesome looking. And this Kong has a bit of that going for him too. And to change the heads, it's very easy. His face here, well, entire neck joint really, is just on a ball joint like that. So it just plugs right into the back. You just pop it in, and boom, you're good to go. And you can see, yeah, he looks awesome. And that doesn't provide with a huge range of side to side, but you do get some. And a bit of up and down as well. Actually, you get a lot more up and down than I realized initially. So that's really cool. And then down probably goes about this far just because of his mouth and his jaw and stuff being pressed up against his chest like that. But yeah, overall, really cool. Lastly, he does come with these chains to symbolize when they brought him back to New York and put him on stage in the show. And then when he broke free, he had these kind of like around his wrists for the rest of the movie. They are on actual hinges, but I don't think they actually open up. But it's basically just a cool accessory that you can do when you're swapping the hand. So, for example, replace the hand that you just took off, and there you go. Now he's Kong in captivity, and it's cool that it's a real metal chain too. So it's lends itself to a little authenticity. It kind of reminds me of the last King Kong figure we got that was kind of based on a more classic design, which was the McFarlane Movie Monsters, Movie Monsters, or Movie Maniacs. God, it's been a lot of years. That was the last kind of classic King Kong we got up until the SH Monster Arts Peter Jackson 2005 King Kong came out. So as far as like adult collectors go, Kong doesn't have a ton of representation, but what he does have is pretty good. Anyway, let's bring in some buddies and see how he looks. So here he is next to the SH Monster Arts King Kong based on the Peter Jackson movie. And you can see he stands a pretty good amount taller, and he's also quite a bit heavier, and the proportions are a lot more exaggerated, I guess you could say. The Peter Jackson Kong is really just kind of a giant gorilla. There's really not much else to him design-wise, so I do prefer the design of this Kong. However, this Kong fits in better with other figures, which you'll see in a second. So here are 2 Godzilla figures. The one in my right hand is from NECA, based on the 2014 Godzilla movie, and the one from the right is SH Monster Arts, 2001 GMK Godzilla. And Kong dwarfs both of them. So if you were one of those people that was hoping to be able to put King Kong here in a display with your Godzilla monster arts and have it look good, this may not be the figure for you. As you see, the monster arts kind of fits in scale a little bit better with them, although this would be the wrong design for Kong to even do that with. But then again, you know, it's your collection, do what you want. However, this Kong is kind of in a completely different scale, so, you know, just keep that in mind when you're buying it. So, my final thoughts on this figure. Will I recommend it? All that. Something you probably know if you followed my channel for any length of time is I love King Kong. It's like my favorite, pretty much anything ever, is the original King Kong movie. So that kind of opened up my eyes to stop motion animation and giant monster movies, which, I mean, anybody that's followed my channel for any length of time knows that I love both. With that said, Kong, you know, very important to me. I would recommend this figure for fans of Kong. In other words, if you love the Kong movies, or like if you're a fan of some of these comics that are out that I really don't know that much about, honestly, go for it. Buy this figure. I think you'll like it. Just be careful with it. Make sure that, you know, if you feel resistance on the joints or anything, don't push them too hard. You might break it like I did. If you are looking for a Kong to fit in with your like SH Monster Arts or your NECA Godzilla figures or anything like that, maybe this is not the one for you. If you can find the SH Monster Arts Kong for a better price than what it's going for now, I suggest maybe going for that as far as scale-wise goes. I do love the design of this figure. I'm not downplaying how awesome I think this figure is, but I'm saying that there are a lot of people who like to mix their lines together and make, you know, fantasy matchups like King Kong versus Godzilla and all that. This might not be the one for you. That said, though, I do really like this figure quite a bit. So if you're a casual fan, you might want to skip it. But if you're somebody like me who's a diehard Kong fan, then you're going to want this figure. And there's actually, in fact, a black and white variant, which I believe includes like a different head sculpt from this one. So just another option, something cool to have. So yeah, final thought. I'm a big King Kong fan, so I obviously have to have it. I love how it looks. I think the detail is pretty much second to none. And, you know, the posability, the articulation and everything is what I kind of thought it was going to be, so I'm not disappointed with it. Watch the joints. Be careful if you get it. But besides that, I do recommend the figure as an awesome, solid display piece and just an overall cool action figure. With that said, my name is Captain McKay. You can watch some of my giant monster animations, or you can just watch some of my wrestling stuff, or you can just choose to never watch anything I ever do ever again. But I'm a big Kong fan, so thank you for tuning in, because I assume you must be too if you watch this video. Thank you for checking it out, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later on.